everyone, thank you for joining me today. Please remember to hit the like button, then hit subscribe. Be sure to check back frequently as I add new content a couple times a week on this channel. Today we'll be doing Chaturanga. Whether you're new to yoga or just want a refresher on the do's and don'ts of this asana, stick around because you're likely to benefit from it. If you practice Vinyasa yoga in particular, you'll encounter Chaturanga regularly. It's an uncomplicated pose, but because movement is involved getting in and out of the pose, it tends to be rather challenging, especially when you want to get it right and avoid injury. All right, let's take a look at this starting in a plank pose. So coming first onto your hands and knees, grab a couple of blocks. Place your blocks on the tall side in front of your mat. And if your hands are behind the blocks, which they're going to be, your hands should be about shoulder width distance apart. When you come onto your hands and knees, line up your shoulders right over the wrist, okay? So your blocks are going to be right about there. Look at your wrist crease, lining up the crease with the front edge of your mat. When you spread the fingers wide, that will dictate where your fingertips fall out. Bring your inner elbow creases forward, so when you lower down into Chaturanga, your elbows are pointing back rather than extending out to the sides. This is not a regular push-up. We want the triceps engaging. When you keep your elbows in like this as they move back, this also engages serratus anterior, the muscles that hug your ribs, okay? That's gonna help maintain the shape as you avoid collapsing, lowering into your Chaturanga. So lining up the wrist, under shoulders, wrist crease, inner elbow creases forward. Come into plank, high push-up. Your heels press back, the crown of the head lengthens forward, draw the belly up and in. I should also mention before we even go anywhere else, what happens with your shoulders when you do Chaturanga? A lot of times I see people sinking their chest down toward the mat, but if you look at my shoulder blades, the scapula here, right, they're retracting, so they're pointing up. You want to make sure that your shoulder blades, the scapula, start to protract without exaggerating into a cat pose, right? So we're not rounding like this. It's a more neutral spine. Think about your scapula extending out to the left and to the right at the same time as your collarbones, these guys, angle out to the left and to the right while maintaining all of these other points. So, hands under shoulders, spread the fingers wide, wrist crease, inner elbow crease, legs extended back, heels back, crown of the head forward, belly up and in. Shoulder blades, the scapula, they are protracting. Maintain this shape. Send the elbows back without touching on the blocks, so you're not lowering more than a 90-degree angle. Your elbows should be lined up over the heels of your hands. I'm going to lower the knees to give myself a little bit of a breather here, right? This maintains the overall integrity of your Chaturanga. And you can certainly modify your Chaturanga while keeping these really important points in check, okay? So when I say modifying, you can do that a few different ways. One, now that we know where the wrists go, the hands go, and as we align all of that, finding our plank pose, lengthen crown of the head forward, heels back, belly up and in, shoulders, scapula protracting, send the elbows back, engaging everything. You can lower all the way onto your belly. So that's one way to do that. Then lift the chest into cobra, taking it back into child's pose, right? That's one way to do it. You can also lower your knees like you're doing a modified push-up, right? Since we referenced that, you can certainly have that as an option. Lining up the hands, wrist crease, inner elbow crease, right? Knees bending, heels up. You can cross at the ankles. Everything else lengthened. Imagine a straight line from the crown of your head all the way through the tailbone toward the knees. Maintaining the rest of the alignment, shoulder blades still, right? Protracting. Keep it nice and nice and zipped up, elbows back, right? Elbows back, elbows line up over the heel of the hand. Then come back up. You can also do this, lower all the way down onto the belly. Yeah. Take your back bend, then back into your child's pose. Give yourself a little bit of a breather. Roll the wrist a little bit if you choose. A nice thing to do that'll probably feel pretty good to release out the wrist. A couple different things. One, you can just make a slight fist and roll the wrist. You can take one hand, gently pull the fingers back as the heel of the hand presses forward. Do the other side. I am a big fan in particular of this nice little stretch, reaching arms forward, thumbs up, then turn the thumbs down. Take one hand in front of the other, interlace fingers, just reach the hands inside out. That'll feel like a nice eye-opening stretch, right? Go the other way. Good. But Chaturanga requires a lot of practice. In the beginning, it's going to feel really hard, right? Anything new that you're unfamiliar with, when there's all these things going on, it's okay if you don't get it all in the beginning. Try, come back to this video, follow it again, remember all of the important points, and just keep practicing your Chaturanga. Thank you again for joining me today. My name is Gail. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, reach out to me if you have any questions, if you'd like some more information. I will see you next time on the mat. Namaste.